Did I hear Terry? Oh, Terry. I thought I heard Larry. Okay, that's more of the dopamine pick I expected to see.
Yeah.
Now, I know that dopamine also has a Kazuya, so there is counter pick potential here if need be, but I know that he's also very comfortable with this Terry, but right now he does not look like he's very comfortable in this Nair train.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to show that, that's something to show about kind of that last set. Like, Dopamine's not a bad player or anything, but Dan knew the Palu matchup. I don't know how experienced Dopamine is with the Palu matchup currently, as I know Dan's been practicing with the Palu. I don't know about Dopamine, specifically working on specific matchups rather than more of combo strains, which I think we'll see later on. We'll see a lot of these combos, or a lot of these strains that Dopamine's going to have are going to be really strong and really powerful. But I don't know how it's going to be against Palutena specifically.
I know that a lot of the matchup dynamics from last... Oh, that was a really slick way to avoid the disadvantage with the teleport cancel one direction and then the teleport to the other to get back to center stage. I love that escape from Affergot. But this is a very dangerous percent. Terry could kill at any point right now. That said, conversely, Palutena is always threatening to kill this more linear approaching character, and this character with a more linear recovery as well. And that down throw back air is going to take the stock and take go. That is a huge sigh of relief for Affergot.
Yeah, I think something that's very scary about Terry is if Terry gets the first kill and is over 100%, Terry can get easy strains coming in using just Buster Wolf. And it causes like a lot of extra percent that you don't really need. I know Terry's one of those matchups. It's not necessarily hard, but it's something I fear very greatly. And I think it's beneficial that Affergot has experience in the Terry matchup. Maybe not with a Terry as strong as Dopamine, but some experience enough that he has a general idea on what to do against Dopamine.
That experience is showing to a point, but right there, at a certain point, you're just going to get hit by something, and that looked like an example of that up tilt just being right there at the right place. That down air almost does it. That connected. That was definitely the stock. But now Terry has
spot dodge avoiding the jab Buster Wolf.
Absolutely. If he got hit by that, that would have been a lot of damage, and this would have looked like a lot closer game all of a sudden. But there it is right there. And that's such a fast option, and it does so much damage.
That being said, I love the use of Explosive Flame to get Dopamine off of ledge and allowing Palutena to easily get back to stage safely about avoiding like a power geyser or something like that.
Absolutely, that is great coverage right there coming in from Affergot. But right here, we've got that back throw is going to give him another ledge trap scenario. What can he do with it? Oh, that's going to do it. The down tilt to snag that end of that up-B that does not quite snap the ledge. And Dopamine is looking at a pretty significant deficit right here. 69%, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. I think something to also keep note is that we didn't really get to see in the Dan match, mainly because Dan, with double jump armor, doesn't really necessarily need to go to ledge. Mm-hmm. But Affergot's Palutena's down tilt is a really great two-frame option, and the fact that it can easily combo into a raw bear or a forward air, even if it misses, is just such a good tool and a really easy kill option that she has.
Absolutely. This set looks a lot easier for Affergot from this matchup, looks like it's a lot easier from a kill power perspective, just because a lot of the tools that Yoshi has to avoid kill setups, Terry is going to be susceptible to, and we're seeing that that's coming into effect here right now. But that's going to do it right there. He's going to land unsafely next to Terry, and Terry's going to eat the stock, and this is looking like an even game, honestly. As soon as that
oh my gosh,
0.9%. And he's so close to having that go, but he does not have access to those tools. Oh my gosh. Dopamine wanted to be in the blast zone for just a hair longer.
Yeah, avoiding that power dunk. Now has the go meter. This is going to be big. If we can see a lot of percent coming in for Dopamine, that could really be the end. This is really an even matchup in the end.
That was so scary. The down tilt to just one down tilt connected. I think everybody just froze a little bit. But that down throw is going to throw him off stage, and he's back.
Both players doing a really good job playing around the opponent's shield, just kind of like mixing up where the location is. And the Explosive Flame as a landing is a really good play. And, nice snap to ledge. But the down tilt is going to still kill anyways. Affergot taking that first game.
That was a very close game one. I don't think that game one was as close or was as far as it looked like it was from the percentage and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It looked close, but at any point, if Dopamine got an opening there, that could have been game.
Yeah.
Power Geyser would have killed shortly, and he could have just taken a couple more couple more hits, a very small combo, and it would have been there. So
Yeah.
good stuff from both players. Let's see what Dopamine changes up to make this game to look a little bit better in his favor.
Yeah. I see that the next stage we're going to is Kalos Pokemon League, which honestly I 100% agree with the stage pick. Terry benefits on really big stages, and stuff like FD and Kalos in town. But the main problem is that when it comes to Palutena loves town because she.
Oh, I love the turnarounds on those nairs.
She loves to teleport cancel on that stage, and she's very oppressing on that stage specifically. So. Probably, I assume that Town and City was open, but Dopamine didn't want to risk going that stage. So Kalos is the next best pick.
That makes a lot of sense. It does seem like both characters are susceptible to combos being walked across the stage on a stage that doesn't have platforms and whatnot. Dopamine getting walked across the stage with that Nair train earlier, but also the flat open space doesn't give Palutena a lot of areas to land without committing to something. And right now, this game is looking very even. Dopamine's going to be looking for something to kill, but that up, oh my god. Now that was really smart to DI out there from Dopamine to avoid getting hit by that up air after the explosive flame.
Ooh, I did like the use of the forward smash, create a wind box, trying to see if Dopamine was maybe in a helpless state.
Oh, that's done it. That's it. Oh my gosh, that's what I was talking about.
This is the fear factor right here. You know that a jab Buster Wolf could be happening at such low percent. We've seen that Affergot can go to 50% with ease if Go is on the stage at an early percent.
That up smash is going to take it though. That move is so active and it hits so hard. That was exactly what Affergot was hoping to get.
Speaking of stuff that Affergot was hoping to get, we see a nice train of nairs following up with a back air, getting a nice 65%, a pretty decent percent lead, but Dopamine missing the last hit of power down to avoid to even up that percent, and Affergot's going to have the stage advantage right now.
Yeah, Affergot's going to feel very comfortable here with the ledge trap situation in his favor. As long as Dopamine can't get back to neutral, it's not going to feel so bad. But as soon as Dopamine does, but he doesn't without losing the stock. This is his chance to do something. This is where he has to shine. If Dopamine can get something going here, it's going to feel a lot better for him.
That being said, at 0%, that's when Palutena shines. So many nairs can occur. You can see that Palutena is looking for that rising nair, and we're going to see a second one, and probably a third one, and maybe a fourth. Nope, should have followed with up there, but missed. But we're going to restart that train right there, already at nearly 50%, solely because of nairs. It's really scary to fight Palutena like that.
But that said, Dopamine hit the shield, and guess what? He gets to keep hitting buttons, because that is his character's main advantage. If you get close to this character, he will hurt you. And he does not get the stock for it. That is something that Dopamine is really looking for right now. He has all the tools in the world to get it, but he has to be able to touch this Palutena with something to get that stock.
Yeah, I feel like at this percent, there is a slight chance that you can get the jab, rising tackle. But Affergot avoiding to get
that air
in the
dodge
first place, that strong stage, and the ledge trump is not going to do it just yet. But
Oh, what a turn of events. Dopamine went from losing that game to getting another lease at life, and he takes the stock and he has the go. This is suddenly the exact nightmare that Affergot had last night thinking about this matchup.
Yeah. It all depends on how Dopamine keeps this advantage state right now. They have to know that this is the end if they miss. If they get hit once, it could be over. Palutena in advantage state is extremely scary no matter what. So as long as you can keep that grind, you'll be able to make it just fine. However, Affergot doing really strong keeping that that stage pressure up.
Both players dancing around each other, but Dopamine is going to get back to advantage by just hitting the button to run in, and it just happened to work out that one time, and suddenly this is looking like a very even game. I think Dopamine could actually kill with Buster Wolf at ledge right now.
This is 100% a possibility, but a back throw from Palutena is going to get that kill. Affergot's going to be taking game 2 right there.
One slightly misspaced run-up jab, and that is going to do it. But that was a hell of a comeback attempt from Dopamine right there. And he's got a deficit right now, 2-0, but this is looking very doable. This has looked like Affergot's set up to this point for the most part, but Dopamine has made every game very close and very... there has been fear every game.
Yeah, don't let that 2-0 interfere you right now. Every game so far has been last hit. This could easily turn out to be a reverse 3-0 if Dopamine wants it this bad.
Absolutely, and Dopamine feels confident in the Terry. I like this pick. I like seeing that he's sticking to his guns and just staying with this character.
Speaking of confidence, Dopamine's going to do a Hail Mary, take Palutena to Town and City, understanding that it is Palutena's best stage, but it's also Terry's best stage.
Yeah, I think that's a power play right there, you know. I think that you have to play where you're most comfortable and try to be the best player you can be, and sometimes it doesn't matter necessarily whether or not the other player is also strong on that stage. As long as you're not giving Mario triplats, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, or PS2.
Yeah.
Personal experience.
Yeah, something where a character actually gets like a huge advantage, but in a case like this, I think this is a good call. Dopamine gets that FD to play with, and those platforms, playing around those platforms, is not necessarily gone in his favor so far.
Mm-hmm. But we're now transitioning from the FD portion into the city portion of Town and City. These platforms are going to be really great for Palutena, but also going to be really scary. If Dopamine lands on one of those side platforms and on knockdown, that's going to be an easy back air coming in from Affergot to get a very fast kill.
Absolutely. Jab, jab, and that is it. That is the stock, and that is what we are talking about. Why it does not necessarily matter whether or not Dopamine has the lead or not. If he doesn't have the lead, but he has go, that's all he needs to make it his game. And This is it. That's another 45% easy. Dopamine's looking strong right now. Affergot needs to do something to get him off the stage, get him back at disadvantage, and get this stock out.
But the crack shoot is going to put Affergot in disadvantage once again. And
oh my god!
Calling off the neutral getup with the power geyser. Amazing plays. This is already looking at even percent. Even if Dopamine dies right now, literally, this is a great stock coming in from Dopamine, making sure that next, just an easy back air could possibly kill Palutena really early before even Dopamine needs go.
That down tilt fair does it though, and that is going to make this a lot more doable for Affergot as long as he can get something going and keep Dopamine in disadvantage. But this is exactly what Dopamine does not want to see. That nair pressure underneath the platform. He has so much that he has to mix up and that he can mix up, and that is so safe that Dopamine is going to struggle to get by, but any character would. It's not just Dopamine. Now, this ledge trap's coming out from Dopamine, and he's got a lot... Okay, he gives it back. That teleport was very smart to get back to stage, but that power dunk is going to take the stock, and this is the first lead Dopamine has had all set.
Yeah. That being said, speaking of leads, all these back airs are being very scary for Dopamine. Affergot could easily take this back to a 0-0 situation if the cards are played right, but Dopamine back on the stage. This is going to be really good for them. Uh-oh. Ooh, just a little too low. Didn't pop up like Affergot wanted. Dopamine now has go meter. Can get a lot of percent off right now if they so please.
Yeah, and if Dopamine doesn't get that percent up, it's going to look like it's very much so the correct stage. Or if he can get that percent up, that looks like this was the correct stage pick. As long as he can hold on to this stock, this is going to look very, very scary for Affergot.
Oh,
but
no.
he doesn't recover.
A little
around.
too low. The SD is going to be unfortunate, but still 73% off of Palutena. That's still really good right there.
That was a really nice catch on that teleport. He knew he was going to go for that teleport the second time and just make sure that there is a punish on it. As long as he's getting a punish, there is it's going to be harder and harder for Affergot to bring this back. And that nair is going to keep Affergot at ledge. What's the ledge trap? Oh, that's a risky move. This could be the stock potentially if everything goes poorly for Dopamine, but that is going to do it, and Dopamine is going to win Game 3 to make this a 2-1 set.
Yeah, amazing stuff coming in from Dopamine right there. That town stage is scary for both characters, and just that first stock alone, it just caused so much of a deficit that Affergot couldn't really do anything, and I feel like Palutena wasn't really benefiting a lot from the platforms that she could normally have on that stage, where you didn't see a lot of teleport cancels. You mainly saw Palu in disadvantage, obviously, but a lot of those back airs just didn't really reach, especially on the town part. On the city, yeah, but wasn't able to get an early kill.
Absolutely. I feel like that matchup was I feel like that game was a little bit more of Dopamine playing his strongest on the FD portion of the stage, and also just a little bit more of Dopamine figuring out how to play around those Palutena options that were catching Dopamine so much in Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
The very first stock of the set was just boom, 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 nair, 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 and Dopamine wasn't quite sure where to go, and it looked like Dopamine figured out a little bit more so what they needed to do.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
That being said, we are going to go into Game 4. Going back to small battlefield, we saw Affergot pick this stage twice against Mexadan.
I personally think this is a fantastic stage for Palutena. I think that Palutena has a limited amount of room that they need to cover, and Palutena covers all of that space very well. So whether or not you're on, or regardless of which side of the stage you're on, Palutena, I think, can pretty well cover and deal with whatever option you want to use to get out of disadvantage.
I agree. I'm very curious what Dopamine decided to ban. I'm going to guess Smashville and Battlefield, assuming that we went to small. But I would personally, if I had a game on a Palu, I'd probably ban Battlefield and small. Personally.
Unfortunate SD there. That was a very solid string. I would have felt pressure too from if I were Dopamine after Affergot just kind of sent me for a ride like that. And continuing to do so, this is looking very strong, but Dopamine still in this by all means can still make something of this game. As long as he can stop the bleeding. I'm loving these grabs from Affergot. Affergot is doing a really good job of bullying Dopamine into a position and then just covering whatever is left with either a turnaround grab, depending on which side. Oh my god, that up
advantage
smash.
state coming in from Affergot right now is just too scary.
And remember what I was talking about? I feel like Dopamine's learned this matchup. I feel like suddenly we're looking for answers all over again after 2 quick uninterrupted stocks were taken. Can Dopamine bring this back? Absolutely. We need to find something, though, because this is starting to look grim.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a lot more crack shoots coming in from Dopamine. That's kind of a staple that they like to do. But we also see Affergot continuing all those nairs and another backer coming in, making sure that all that Affergot really needs is just Terry off stage. And that's all that is needed to win this game right here and the set.
Absolutely. I feel like Affergot is doing a really good job of just covering all the space that is available, but that is one stock, and that one stock, if Dopamine can ride the momentum of that one stock with Go, well, I guess he can. That's going to be set right there.
That's going to be the set right there. Affergot 3-1 over Dopamine.
That last game was looking very strong for